Speaking of strikers at Macy's, and we've got a copy of a union pin from his former local 1100. We've got a local 5 pin, and then of course the little plate there that says Walter Johnson, UFCW Life Member, May 12th, 2011. So we're going to present that to Walter.
All right.
And Walter, you stand up, please. Now it's time for you to go to work here in a minute. You'll be able to say a few words, yes, I promise. But first, with our local 5 members up here, I want to give you this card. It's my pleasure as a Vice President of the United Food and Commercial Workers International Union to tonight proclaim that you are a lifetime member of the United Food and Commercial Workers International Union. And here's a card to prove it. But here's what the lifetime membership means to Walter is he no longer has to pay his union dues. Local 5 pays for him. So he's going to be sitting around and think about a lot of breakfast for folks. So now we're going to hear from the man himself, the new lifetime member of the UFCW, Walter Johnson.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me in the back?
Yes.
Not too bad. Actually, I hear all of this what they're saying, and I wonder what they're talking about. What are they talking about? Oh, me? Oh, great. I sure get deserve it. First of all, I'd like to thank those who put this together, Ron and started it off, and to really put it all together. And also, in addition to that, those who are putting it together, and also those who worked on it afterwards to make sure that we had the people here. And I'm very happy to come here. And I look out over here and I see members of my family, the Labor family. And it was something that really touches my heart to see that, think back on what's going on. In fact, there's so many memories here. When I'm thinking of tonight in bed, I probably won't go to sleep. And in addition to that, there are heroes here. The heroes that helped me many times, and we were having problems. And one of those heroes was Mary Jellison, who won some big cases for us. And this one here we had about Macy's. We got $310,000 back paid. Because I took the position that the people working in the new shop on Union Square should have the same pay as they did selling suits. So we go on, and also I'd like to thank my former pastor, who was my pastor for 6 years. He finally had enough of me and left. I would forgive you for that. And also, to see the number of you people out there, I have a lot of notes here, but I think I'm going to cut it down some. Of course, Ron Lynn, who is the BTO, as we used to call him in the Army, big-time operator, and the Local 5. Local 5. And several years ago, in fact, many years ago, I was working with him. I mean, it's hard to say I wasn't working with him, but I don't know if he was working or not. In any event, I told him that he could be head of the union. And then he said two things. The trying to figure out which one it was. And he said, "Do you think I'm nuts?" And the other one, he said, "No, I don't want to." And now he is the leader of one of the biggest unions in the United States of America. 32, I thought it was 33,000 members in there. He's the head of that, he's working with the International and doing a great job. So let's give a big hand to Ron Lynn. Did you all listen for a minute? No worries, I know the question. And we also want to thank Local 261, the labor union. Actually, as I look out here, there are many people that did pay for lunch, and there's some that didn't. I'm not going to mention their names today. Leroy not only paid once, no, twice. And the first one you did was over at the Japantown in the restaurant, and you paid for my breakfast. And then you paid at Caesar's once, and you finally almost got to have it. He did. And Rich Benson was up here, and he worked for working with the International, and he did follow up and really fulfilled what I said about him. And as I listened to all these statements that they made, I wondered what they were talking about. And of course, I guess it was me, and made me feel very proud. But also, people like Tony Fazio was here working on this, Eloise Patton, John Ulrich, and some other ones, I don't know all the names here, but it's all of you folks putting it together that really makes me feel quite important. And of course, I'm happy to say I'm not here only one from my family, because my son, Lawrence Johnson, and he put up with many of my things and working on it in the labor movement, and of course getting those calls sometime later tonight, midnight or something like that. But Lawrence, as you asked me to say so, thank you. All of this as I said, the memories are there. I lay here in bed all night long thinking about them, and the heroes that carried my flag and went out there and defended me. And I did create a lot of trouble for the attorneys and different things like that. Of course, I thought Mike Hennessy might be here. He was going to be my candidate for mayor, but he decided not to run. One time he called me up. Of course, he was a little upset because I'd make a deal with him to get some more people in. Sometimes I brought in quite a few extra. He called me one time and said, "What are you doing? Taking over my jail? Bringing in people and that sort of thing." And of course, he did say that he saw my picture in the community newspaper. He thought it was better than mugshots. So then he went in and ordered to change my mugshots so they look better. I was wondering something that we put together, but I have not going to take too much time, as you've all been here, and each of you being here in one way or another. But now I'm going to go back and say, many years ago, I heard a man talk from Yale, and there's a divinity person there, and he had a book that I used for my guiding light for a long time. Yesterday, today, and what next? And that's where we're in right now. We are in, we've had yesterday, we've had today, but now coming up to the future is going to be our what next. And that what next is going to be full of challenges for us. And we're going to get in and we have to be like the tree that stands by the water. And the old labor song, we shall not be moved. And that's what we had when we were fighting for the battle for City College in Chinatown. But we're going to say that here. Let's make sure we carry that with us wherever we go. That we shall not be moved. We're going to make sure that we save the United States of America because we're going to do it together in a unified fashion of the labor movement. And thank you all very much. Remember this. What next? Are we going to win?
Yes!